for joining us for Mom Talk. Today we're going to be discussing being a stay-at-home mom and a working mother, what the differences are and how everyth's working for us. So Leslie, I know you've been a stay-at-home mom for a while and recently you went back to work. How's it working out for you?
Well, I love it. I found out that staying home with my kids, I love my kids to death, but it just wasn't for me. My kids and I fought a lot, so we were like, nope, I'll go back to work. And since I've been back to work, it has been great. I definitely miss my kids. I know my kids miss me, but my children are both at the age. My son is older, he's in 2nd grade, and my daughter just started preschool. And she just absolutely loves it. So it makes me feel better knowing that, they're happy where they're at. And so it allows me to be able to do what I need to do to help my self-esteem, because I love to work, and then also to help my family out financially. So it's worked out. There are stressful moments in the morning times. It's probably the hardest thing I had to learn to adjust to, because not only do I have to get my kids up and get them ready and fed and out the door on time, but I also have to get myself ready and then help my husband get him ready out the door. And so the mornings we're still getting our routine all settled in, and it gets a little crazy. We're running around kind of like Home Alone, and we're all screaming around. But no, overall, it's I think it was the right choice. Like I said, it's not always for everyone, but it just is what works for my family right now.
Awesome.
So.
Jessica, you're a working mother, right?
I'm a working mother as well. Not by choice. I would prefer to stay at home, but that's just not doable right now for our family. My husband is in school for engineering, so while he's going through school, I decided that I'm going to continue to work, and I support our family while my husband's in school. And then hopefully in about a year after he graduates, then I'll be able to go part-time at my job or pool position and stay home with the kids. I have a lot of help though at home. I feel like a lot of time working moms and stay-at-home moms, they get judged no matter what. Either way, you're going to get judged. Oh, you're just a stay-at-home mom. Oh, well, you get out of the house and you don't have to deal with your kids, the thing I like when I'm at home during the week, that we get to do lots of play dates. We're out and about, and I get to see my kids grow and, learn and just get to see those interactions with other kids, and we just have a lot of fun. But on the flip side, because I'm working when, I don't really have time to clean the house and do all that kind of stuff, I have a lot of help from my mom. We're lucky enough to have her staying with us right now. So while I'm out having fun with the kids and going to Chuck E. Cheese and going to play dates, my mom's at home and she's cleaning our house and making dinner and folding clothes. And so, a lot of people are like, wow, how do you work 48 hours a week and you go to 4 play dates in 1 week and you do this and you do that? And, every mom, every family has to give up something, whatever you're sacrificing, and so that's our sacrifice. My mom has came and she has sacrificed her time to help our family so I can still be that stay-at-home mom that I want to be and do the fun things with my children, and then I still get to support my family and have my career, and then what I get to give up is housework and things I don't want to do anyway, so it works out well for us. Wow. I know, I kind of have the best of both worlds. Let people know my secrets. And I get 8 hours of sleep every night.
You just went back to work, right, Jessica?
I did. I was actually a stay-at-home mom for 2 years of my daughter's life. And right after she turned 2, I decided that I would get my realtor's license. So in January, I started working on that. Around March, 5th or 6th, I took my tests and I became a licensed realtor in Texas. Awesome. So I've been working, I guess, for about a month now. I work 3 days a week. And I really love it. Like I really struggled with being a stay-at-home mom. I didn't really do it by choice. It was more like Lily was born prematurely in the middle of winter. And it's like, how can I take my baby born at 34 weeks and like shove her into a daycare, which I would say I'm a big fan of daycare, but it just didn't seem right at the time to put her in there. But I think part of being a stay-at-home mom I struggled with a lot is I never saw like a completion of a project. As a stay-at-home moms know, it's like, nothing's ever done. Yeah. Oh, I changed a diaper. An hour later, I get to change another diaper. Yeah. I get to do bedtime and bath and cook dinner and do laundry and cook and clean. And it's just this endless, you know, the best analogy I ever heard was Groundhog's Day, because every day you wake up and it's the exact
That's
same
so true.
thing. And it just really wore on me. And like I said, about the time she turned, you know, 18 to 20 months, I was like, okay, I have to do something because I'm losing myself. And
Yeah.
I was really getting depressed over it. So yes, I work part-time now and I love it.
Awesome.
Stay home mommies.
You used to be a working mom, and now you're a stay-at-home mom.
I
How
did.
do you like the
Um,
difference?
I really like staying home. Labor is really not a thing for me. Really not into
Really good
it.
at being a kept woman.
Yeah, I do like the whole working and that kind of thing is not a fit for me.
Yeah.
I like to stay home and do nothing. I mean,
Really?
I
feel like I work more when I'm at home, and I work in a busy ER.
Well, I guess I don't mean by that
Yeah.
nothing. I just mean not.
No
I
deadlines.
don't like
no
labor.
Yeah.
I don't want to sweat.
Being a stay-at-home mom is labor.
It is,
Yeah.
but it's just not the same.
You don't have somebody
I-
telling you what to do. You get
I
to
guess
do things
so.
on your own schedule, maybe.
Yeah.
So I'm a
just don't-
stay-at-home mom.
Well, I worked as a real estate agent and an office manager, and I did it for several years, and it just consumed me. There was absolutely no free time. I was constantly at it, weekends, evenings, everything. I missed a lot, and then when the fifth baby was born, and he was the most premature of all of them, and I started just staying home. And I don't really think I want to go back to work
Yeah.
ever. I would like just stay home and not ever have to work ever. It's really just not.
What do you
me.
guys sacrifice financially with that loss of income, and you know, how does that affect you?
It's super simple.
Spend less.
As a real estate agent, don't ever count on your income.
Yeah.
Because you never know when it's coming. So we have a set income off of my husband's salary, and any real estate that came in was free money or whatever you
Fun
want to
money.
call it.
Yeah.
Because you really can't count on that kind of income. You never know when something's going to sell, when something's going to fall through, when you're going to get a listing. No idea. So I don't really have to sacrifice anything.
I've always been a stay-at-home mom myself. I had a job when I was, pregnant with the first one. When I was 5 months pregnant, and I got laid off, and for a while there, I was looking for a job, and nobody wanted to hire me because I was pregnant. It's a liability or whatever. So then I just said, you know what, I'm gonna give up, and I'm just gonna do this, and I love it. There are days that I'm like, I want to go back to work, and you get so stressed out. But then, it's very rewarding to be there for all their milestones, and to have that time with my girls, and I honestly, I just don't trust anybody else with them. I don't know what the daycare, not knocking daycares, but I don't know how they would take care of them. I don't know if they're going to do what I want them to do. I don't know what habits they're going to pick up from other kids. So it's really scary for me to let, someone else watch my girls.
Control.
So we give up the extra income, which is huge, and we cut back on stuff. We don't have cable. We have, cheaper phones. We don't have the nice, phones and stuff. But that's something that we gave because we wanted to have our girls with us. So, I love being a stay-at-home mom for the most part.
I'm very type A personality, and I like to be in control of everything. Like at home, I take care of the finances. I take care of pretty much everything that, like, the way I want our boys raised and stuff. And I pretty much just like lay down the law, and like my word goes, and that's the way I want everything done.
Yeah.
I think as a working mom, though, that's really helped me because I've always been the type that I want to stay home, but because of the circumstances, we're not allowed to. I can't stay at home right this
Right.
moment. But, my husband and I, we switch off back and forth, and then my mom's always there as a constant. So, no matter what, the kids have the same routine. It doesn't matter who's there. If I'm gone, or if my husband's gone while he's in school, or, my mom's gone, or whatever, they have the same routine. They're always in the same, they have the same nap times, the same whatever it is that we're for potty training, and I make sure that the routine is consistent, and and I'm like, hey, no, I want it done this way. And I know, because it's giving up that control is hard,
Yeah.
and that was a huge issue that I had, and
Yeah.
I really stressed with that, because when my first one was born, my mom wasn't around, and my husband and I, we were switching him back and forth, and sometimes his routine would change, and I would be like, but if I were at home, I would do it this way. I wouldn't let
Yeah.
him just lay there and cry. Not saying my husband did that,
Yeah.
but I was very much, he was always with me, and so my husband and I had to come to Jesus Talk, which every husband and wife has to do that every day. And I was like, this is what I need from you, so that I can be at work and I don't have to worry about my child.
Yeah.
And so now we have a pretty good structure that that's how the structure works in our house.
But we see, like for the cost thing, we had to figure out, okay, well, if I work, most of that money is going to go to daycare anyway and childcare. And how do I know that taking care of my daughter the way I want her to? And now that we have two, it'd be like the entire check and then some for them to go to childcare. So it's just more costly for us just for me to stay home and take care of the girls.
Because I was really scared, especially with moving to a new area, because I am new to here. Back at home, where I was originally at when I worked, I had a daycare provider that I knew very well. She was like family, so I knew I didn't have to worry. But when I got down here, that was one of the things I was really nervous about going back to work. Like, who's going to watch I'm not so much my son because he's in school, but it was my daughter, and she's just starting preschool, and so I was like, ooh, I don't know anyone down here. And, I didn't grow up down here, so I didn't know the places. So I ended up actually going to a few different schools and found the one that I liked, and it was actually an in-home preschool. So they follow like a preschool, everything that a preschool does. The house is set up like a preschool, but it's inside a house, so there's only 4 girls. So I know, and I did a lot of interviews, and we did visits, and I did a drop-by visit and stuff. So I mean, I was really happy with it, but I think that's one of the things that if someone is considering going back to work, or you can look at different options and stuff, and everyone has different prices and stuff. So.
And see, we went with a center, and like I said, Cindy, is you just really have to do your research. You have to know, okay, I've done everything I can to make sure these people are going to, discipline my child the way that I believe can be disciplined. That she's going to get the attention that she needs, so they're feeding her the foods that you want. And it's all these things as a neurotic mother that you constantly as a stay-at-home mom, like I said, you're in control of every single day. And I had some problems just letting it go and saying, okay, she's going to go to school eventually. And, I felt like when I was a stay-at-home mom, all the time, Lily was bored. Like, I feel like I bored her a lot. And, I didn't get into doing a lot of the stay-at-home mom things. I didn't enjoy doing crafts or, singing the ABC song, 500 times. And I love that I can send her to daycare, and she plays with other kids. And there's someone who actually enjoys teaching children and playing with children and listening to their little screams all day long. So they're just such a beautiful melody. I love daycare. too. I mean, I know a lot of women struggle with the guilt of sending their children to daycare, and I don't know, I never really feel guilty sending her to daycare, because like I said, she cried like the first day that we sent her, and then after that, it was like running in. I mean, I can't even get the door open before she's just like beelining to her class.
That's gotta be easier on you.
Oh, it's so much easier.
It must have been hard
the first day when I dropped. Well, she did a mom's day out program before, but then I switched her into a full-time daycare so I could have more working time. And she goes Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. But yeah, the first day, like I said, she cried, and I left, and I was like, oh my God, my poor kid. What am I doing to her? I'm traumatizing her. And I called like 30 minutes after I left. And they're like, no, she's over there playing. They're like, she's having a good old time. I was like, oh, okay.
You get over it like 2 minutes after you leave.
What do you guys do to get time by yourself? Like when we go off to work, we get adult time, we get lunch, we get to eat our entire lunch.
Lunch is amazing.
Even in the ER when there's like downtime, people are like, how are you reading your book? And I'm like, huh, what did you say? I tuned everything out. There's not a toddler pulling me off the couch. I'm reading in peace and quiet, even though everything around me is loud and crazy. This is my time.
You know? What do you guys do? How do you guys get alone time?
It's hard.
We actually do a lot of stuff together.
Yeah, we do.
Even as families, like we go to dinner together or something, and that's
She texted me during the day, let's go over here. So the kids will be running around playing and we're getting to talk, like, you know,
adult
adult
conversation.
stuff. Yes.
Yeah, and then sometimes, like if we're gonna go to dinner or something together as family, we try to pick a place that doesn't have a drive-through.
Yeah. Yes.
That's
Wait,
the most exciting.
you can eat out with
part.
yourselves.
It's
I don't
really.
have any problem.
Really?
We don't need that with Sebastian.
No.
The other day when we were at that noodle house, whatever, I had to sit Desiree at a separate table in timeout, and she's sitting there all by herself.
I tried that once at a place, and my son took all the salt and pepper shakers down and dumped them on the floor.
Oh well, she's gonna be 4 tomorrow, so.
Yeah, I'm still in the trouble.
You know, one thing that I wanted to talk about was there's a lot of, I don't know how to exactly say it, but you know, sometimes I feel like there's this working moms versus stay-at-home moms, who's better, who, you know, I don't like that. You know, everybody tries to do their own thing as a
You
mother.
gotta do what's best for your family.
Exactly. So what are some things, you know, like, I don't know, that y'all experience as far as that's concerned?
I really didn't get anything negative about being a stay-at-home mom. It seems like everybody in my family, I wasn't planning on being a stay-at-home mom, and I actually got more guilt when I was planning on going back to work from my relatives and everything like that. It was just a lot of negativity about, oh, well, you should be a stay-at-home mom, you should be a stay-at-home mom. So like I said, it was more of, maybe it's like an area thing, especially down here. It seems like you're more encouraged to be a stay-at-home mom than a working mom.
Yeah.
And go ahead, I'm sorry. I can hear you.
I was just gonna say, I feel like if anything, it's not saying stay-at-home moms judge, but you know, in play dates and stuff like that. Oh, you work? How do you leave your kids? How do you do that? And you know, it's not feasible for every family to have a stay-at-home mom. It's very much. Of course, I want to be a stay-at-home mom, but you know, when they're like, oh, well, we have this party on the weekend or blah blah. Oh, I can't because I'm at work, and you know, you just have to respect people for the decisions that they make, and you know, not judge.
Yeah, that's true.
My normal schedule is that I work 12-hour shifts, and I work a swing shift, and I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I have Monday through Thursday off to be with my kids, and then my husband has them Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we flip schedules. The one thing that is good about that is, like I said, I get to do all the stay-at-home mom stuff during the week, and then I get to work on the weekend. But of course, our family time suffers because we don't have any, you know, alone time together. But we decided that's what's best for our family. We didn't want to do daycare, even though it's
temporary.
And it's temporary, exactly. As soon as my husband finishes, I've got my calendar marking off. I feel though that with the stay-at-home moms group that I have, by now they know that you know we've made friends and it's no big deal. But you know, when I'm with my stay-at-home mom friends, they're like, "Oh, poor thing, you have to work," and I'm like, "Yeah, I have to work." And you know, and then at my job and my career, you know, it's a professional career, and most of the women and men that I work with, they're very much into, I'm going to go back to school, I'm going to get higher education and climb, and I'm like, I'm actually really happy where I'm at. I love my job. I don't want any more certifications or education. I'm completely, responsibility. I am completely happy being where I'm at for the rest of my life. Like, I love my career. I love my job. And I don't want any more careers because I don't want my husband to be like, no, you need to go back to work. Now you're making way too much money. But I want to be a mom. And so, you know, at work, I kind of get judged. Oh, she wants to be a stay-at-home mom. She's not a career woman. So it's like, I don't fit really in either world. I'm like, I don't get to be with the stay-at-home moms. I don't get to be with the working moms. So I'm just my own bubble. And I just try to fit in with everybody.
See, I see what you're saying because I've had some working moms that they're like, oh, you get to stay home. And it's like, yeah, and I'm like, you have no idea what it's like to have your, you know, 24/7, no days off. I don't have
sick days.
There's no principal here for me to send her to.
As much as I would love to stay at home, I'll tell you, by Friday, see you guys, I'm out the door. And that 30-minute drive to work is just luxury. Yeah. And, you know, I get it. It's hard. I work way harder at home than I do at work.
I was referred to just a few months ago as unemployed.
Oh.
And that did not sit well with me.
Did you educate them?
I did educate them, and I wasn't nice about it, but they weren't nice to me. Who would say stay-at-home mom is unemployed?
I don't agree with that.
No, I'm a stay-at-home mom. That's what I do. I'm not unemployed.
Yeah.
You couldn't hack it.
Right.
You know, and you were saying earlier.
You're the CEO of your company.
That's right. You were saying earlier how one side kind of judges the other, and you know it goes back and forth. And I see, you know, I could probably catch it in myself, you know, thinking, oh, you have to work. But really, it's not you have to work because, you know, you should be a stay-at-home mom. It's really, you have to work. I don't like that stuff type of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, but I think I'm better cut out to stay at home. Even
And
when
I
I go to
think-
school,
I think a huge stigmatism on stay-at-home moms is that they're not educated, that they don't have their career. I mean, Jessica, everybody has a career. They're educated women. It's not like we're like, oh, we're just stay-at-home moms. Like
Yeah.
even when next year when I get to go cool at my job and be a stay-at-home mom, I'm a stay-at-home mom with a college degree. I'm not
Yeah.
just, this is what I
Don't
decided
write me
to
off
do.
just
Right.
because-
Don't write me off. And even when I was a little girl, I had a stay-at-home mom. And so when my mom would be like, well, what do you want to be when you get bigger? I want to be a stay-at-home mom, just like you. And she's like, well, honey, get your career first. So I did. I went to college, I got my career, then I got married and had my babies and did everything. And thank goodness she gave me that advice, because while my husband is going to school, I'm able to support our family and we don't have to live in poverty. We have 2 cars, we have a nice big house, like it's pretty great. We don't have to give up anything. So it's been really good advice, but I really don't like that stigmatism when it's, oh, she's just a stay-at-home mom. Like, you don't know what she gave up to be a stay-at-home mom.
Well, I read somewhere, it's funny that if you added up the salaries of everything that stay-at-home mom does, house cleaning, daycare,
Dry
chef,
cleaning.
it averages out that you should be getting paid like $400,000 or something like that a year.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Where's my check?
you are wearing the hats that these people are making, thousands of dollars with, but you're at home and you're able to do that and provide that for your family. So really, if you think of it that way, your family's
we don't get paid by check.
exactly.
We get paid by their smile on their face. We get paid by
Seeing their
them saying thank
first
you.
steps. Yeah.
Afterwards,
We
we're
get
like,
that
"Thank
too.
you."
We get that too. Yeah, I still get thrown up on. I still have to clean poopy butts. I still have to book doctor appointments, and I just have to do all that plus my job.
No, I mean, like how you get paid for it.
Absolutely, I
You know,
get
you
it.
have to look
I
at it
understand.
as I didn't get that paycheck for, selling that house, but my daughter did. So
I had the
thank you.
flu.
Yeah.
I was peeing in the bathroom, but you know what? They're changed and they're clean and they're bathed, and you have to run back there again. I'll be right back because you can't call anybody. You just
The one thing I find hardest about being a working outside of the home mom is breastfeeding while being a working mom. I have to pump, I have to prepare and do all that kind of stuff, which is very difficult. And here in Texas, we do have the right to pump. They have to provide us with a space, they have to provide us with time out to go and coverage and all that, which is awesome. Like, that wasn't around 20 years ago, So as a working mom, you now have the opportunity and the right
Legally,
to breastfeed your child, and it's absolutely doable. But taking that extra time, that extra commitment, that extra time out of your day to, well, for example, I have to run to the 3rd floor of the hospital, so I run up 3 flights of stairs, quickly get on, as quickly as possible. Yeah, I mean, it's really quite hilarious because it's like you're like squeezing to get it to come out faster because you have to run back down because you're like, especially me, my patients still need to be taken care of.
Yeah.
And while my coworkers do cover my shifts, they're still doing their own. They still have to cover my orders, So it's doing one of these things, trying to eat the extra calories that you need and drink the extra water while you're pressing here and getting there and running back down the 3 flights of stairs and being back within your time allowed to pump. And my coworkers are awesome. They all are very pro breastfeeding, and they're like, yeah, go pump, I'll cover your shift, no big deal. But still, I don't want to abuse it. So I'm not going to be the mom that takes off for 45 minutes to sit leisurely and kick up my feet and and pump, which some moms really do need to relax. And I'm lucky that I have a good supply, so I'm able to get up and get out in just a few minutes. And I bought 3 extra tubing sets so that way I don't have to waste time with washing bottles and stuff. But it's a huge commitment, you know, you have to, like I said, get off the floor and do it. You have to, you know, prepare the milk and freeze it and wash the bottles. And, well, I don't wash the parts because that's the deal. My husband likes to wash the parts. Since I commit to the breastfeeding.
I'm really proud of you for that,
But-
because when I nursed, and when with Desiree, I pumped and I donated breast milk, and you know, I was stay-at-home mom, so I got to do it here, and you know, whenever I can't imagine being at work, especially in the ER nurse, and having to go do that. So I'm really proud of you for that.
Well, thank you. It's an accomplishment of mine for sure. I'll check that off. But no, I do love the breastfeeding. It was very difficult when with my first son, I went back to work at 12 weeks. And so at that point, my husband and my mom hadn't moved here yet to help us out. And my husband was at school and I was at work, and I had a rotating schedule. It wasn't set up the way it was now. And so my son had to go to the daycare at the hospital. And I would run down on my lunch break and breastfeed him because he was refusing to take bottles. So that was really, really stressful, knowing that the baby's crying, and they would call me on the floor and be like, "Can you come nurse him real quick?" And yeah, so not only was I pumping, I was running, you know, all the way down the stairs and down 4 flights of stairs and across the hospital to go to nurse him. But it luckily only lasted for about 6 weeks, and then we got the right bottle and he worked itself out. With the baby this time, I went back at 8 weeks, which I think might have been a bit too short a time. And he started refusing to nurse and absolutely would scream at the breast. So I got some really great advice from a lactation consultant. And she said, you know, get in the bathtub, do lots of skin on skin. So we laid in the bathtub for like an hour. Like, again, thank goodness for my husband and my mom to keep the toddler entertained, because, you know, what are you going to do with them while you're spending an hour in the bathtub doing skin on skin time with your infant, trying to rebirth them to get them attached to the boob? It's just more, I mean, really, it's funny. You think, why am I doing this to myself? But it was so important to me. And I feel like if I didn't give it my 150th%, then I would have felt like I failed my child. And I know that's not the case, and breastfeeding isn't for everybody, and it's way more work, but I totally feel any mom that's like, I ain't doing it, I'm like, I get you. I wish I could do that without having a guilty conscience, but I know that's what I needed to do as a working mom, to continue to do the breastfeeding. And
I've had stressful moments as a stay-at-home mom. Have you ever had, like, where you're just like, I can't handle this?
I am so sure that I did when all 5 of them were at home. But 4 are in school, so it's really not as stressful as it used to be. But going grocery shopping and things like that.
There are days that it's just
stressful.
like, oh my god.
I want a break.
I don't know. Give me parts and
yeah, they say
I miss
that
talking to my, you know, having, like, I've lost some of my communication skills.
Yes. I stutter a lot
I
more than I
have
used
a
to.
hard time, like, getting my point across, and people are like, and that's probably what people see, like, stay-at-home moms are not as bright. But it's just,
We're just tired.
I went to college too, and we're tired. We talk to a toddler all day, so it's like, I can guarantee you I could sing the Yo Gabba Gabba song.
I know.
I mean,
Everywhere I go, anytime I get anywhere, I go, let's go, everybody, let's go. And I do that even at work. And like, if I'm getting stuff set up for my mom, let's go, everybody, let's go. Like, to myself, I can't handle it. I can't handle the whole cartoon. I know, it's so catchy.
do you have things with your spouse, like, I don't know, like, my husband, he works Monday through Friday.
Division of roles, basically.
Yeah, and then on Saturday and Sunday, he's like, what's for dinner? And I'm like, I'm gonna
See, that's the good thing about splitting the kids with the husband. He never asks that because he knows.
Well, see, like with me just having gone back to work,
Yeah.
you know, he's kind of used to having everything handed to him.
Oh.
And you know, just like the other day, I was getting Lily ready for for daycare in the morning. I'm trying to get myself ready, and he's just like sitting in the bedroom watching TV with his sock like midair at the foot. And I said, "Excuse me." I was like, "You know that I went back to work, right? Like, like you notice that I get up every day now, and I get the kid ready, and I get myself ready, and I pack lunches, and we do this, and we do that, and then we leave. You know I'm leaving, right?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, yeah." I'm like, "Then why aren't you helping? Why are you just sitting there watching the news in the morning while I scramble around like a mad woman?"
Yeah.
Oh.
You and your husband need to have a come to Jesus talk. Me and my husband had to have one very early on. I had a stay-at-home mom who pampered me. He had a stay-at-home mom who pampered him. We both lived with our parents well into our 20s, and both of our moms did our laundry and cleaned our rooms and made our beds until we were old enough to do it ourselves. And so, but I ventured out and got my own place. But when we got married was the day that he moved into my apartment. So I had a very much a mama's boy that, but anyway, we have fabulous mothers. So bringing that mama's boy into there and then coming to have a work, you know, with them we have a baby and we have the household and everything, we had to have a talk that if you want a stay-at-home mom, you better make me a stay-at-home mom.
But whether you're a stay-at-home mom or a working mom, both roles are very important to the household, and whatever works for your family is what you should be doing. Don't feel bad about going to work or staying home, because your children are getting the most mommy that they can get out of you, and they love you, and they're going to appreciate it someday. Thank you for joining us for Mom Talk.